Hi you guys, it's Pam from Core Asset. I thought I would do another Pilates class today, but make it more of a gentle flow Pilates class, trying to make it accessible for everyone. I'm going to throw out a lot of modifications as we go, or just different layers that you could try on some of the exercises, but really, listen to your own bodies, but hopefully everything you'll be able to do on this gentle Pilates workout. I don't really have anything except for maybe a folded up towel and some water in your mat. And other than that, we're going to keep it fairly simple. So let's start on all fours. So just all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And just breathe. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Now I want to have you do something called pregnant cat. And it's really just a way of activating the abdominals. So on your next exhale, I want you to imagine that you're pulling your belly up towards your spine. So as you exhale, draw in and up. Let's do that a few more breaths. Finding length through your spine. And getting a sense of not only drawing the low belly in, as if you were pulling in from your belly, and also pulling your ribs in. And let's take that into a cat-cow. So as you exhale, draw the belly in even more, round through your spine, dropping the head. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. So you're just taking that drawing in and adding some movement into it. This is a great exercise to warm up the spine before we move. And I really want you to pay particular attention to the lower part of your spine moving. That drawing in of that lumbar spine and really making sure that part of your spine is moving. We'll just do one more there. Good. Lengthen out that spine, and just for a moment, just draw in the abdominals again and reach one arm forward and back down, and reach the other arm forward and back down. And you're going to keep going in this manner, trying to minimize how much shifting you're doing side to side and keeping your hips, everything really stable. Let's do the same thing with our legs. So you're going to step one leg back, get really strong. I have my right leg back, my toes tucked under, really press strongly into the mat. Lift up that leg, but try not to shift towards your left, and lower it down. Let's stay on that same side and do a couple lifts and lowers, and just feel what your body has to do to stay in the center. You can check that out by looking at this other leg bone. Is it vertical? And let's try the other side. So again, just kind of warming up that sense of neutral. So same thing, feel your weight towards the center. You don't want to shift. In this case, I'm trying not to shift towards the camera. And just staying nice and long through my spine. And then come back down. And then we're going to add the arm and the leg together. So start with the leg, that's usually the harder piece. Get that organized, lift it up. Breathe and reach out the opposite arm and hold. And just feel the little adjustments that you have to make to stay in the center, and then bring it back down. Other side, leg first, lift it up, and then add the arm. And back down. Make sure you're not holding your breath here. And work that stabilizing side. So the side that's not lifting, press that arm, those fingers down into the mat, the opposite shin down into the mat. We'll do one more each side. bring yourself back and sit onto your heels. Let your head go and just give yourself a little stretch here. All right, so let's go onto your back and work a little bit here. Now for some of you, you might like this sponge underneath your head. It just kind of helps you sink the back ribs. So we're gonna breathe here. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. With your hands on your abdominals, you're just feeling those hollow. And I also want you to pay attention to what your shoulders and your ribs are doing. So your chest is open, your sternum is dropped heavy, your back body is nice and heavy. And then we're going to do what's called pelvic clock, where you basically make a circular motion with your hips. So you're going to kind of roll the hips back, go to the left, circle down, arching, and back to the right. And we're going to keep going a couple times that direction, again, just to loosen up. And then we're going to reverse it. So you're almost taking a little journey around the outsides of your sacrum, which is that triangular shaped bone on the bottom of your spine. And come back to center. Now flatten the spine quite a bit so your tail tucks under, and then let it go into your arch. And do that a couple times. So you're flattening and you're arching. And really let the bones move here. Just feel those two positions. So to find your neutral, you want to go in between those two places until you find a place that feels balanced onto that sacrum. Then let your knees go side to side, and you'll feel yourself kind of moving east-west. And then you're going to find the center there. So hopefully now you're into that nice neutral spine. So that's important when we come on to a lot of the different ab exercises. From there, let's just do a little march. So without moving those hip bones, bring one leg up and then bring it back down. And switch sides. Work the transition between sides. So you're keeping really stable, nothing is moving. Your neutral position has not changed. So you're not flattening, you're not arching. Your ribs are nice and heavy. So they're still connected a little bit to your abdominals. And this by itself is a great exercise just to practice on its own. You can add the next layer if you choose, which is to bring one leg up. Bring the other leg up without your back popping up, without that feeling on the mat changing until you're kind of a tabletop position. And then you're going to let one leg lower down and the other. Now here, watch that those ribs don't pop. So maybe you're just moving an inch. So you're hardly moving at all. That is fine. What's important is what's happening in your trunk, keeping that nice neutral. Good. Now one more layer, if you choose, is to keep your legs in that tabletop position but move both together and bring them back up. That's even more challenging. Keep nice and connected. But again, you could stay with one of the earlier layers if that works better for you. And good. And then bring it in for a minute, a little quick hug. Bring your legs down. All right, so that was moving the lower body. Let's keep that neutral and move the upper body with some ab curls. So your hands come behind your head. You let your head get nice and heavy into those hands. You're gonna exhale, sink the ribs to curve up and lower back down. Sink to come up and lower back down. Now, even though I'm sinking my ribs, I haven't tucked my tail under. So you want to watch for that. And for me, because I'm a little stiff in my spine, I don't go super high, but try if you can to get to the tips of your shoulder blades. Just a few more here. Don't forget to exhale as you come up. And one more. Good. And lower back down. And again, your knees can come into your chest. All right, we're gonna move on to hundreds. I'm gonna do some 100 preps first. So I'm gonna bring my arms to the sky. Take an inhale. As I exhale, I'm gonna curve up, reach my fingers past my hips, and start pumping for hundreds. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could stay here. Perfectly fine place to do your hundreds. Or you could move those legs up to tabletop. Keep pumping. This is to warm up that core. You're holding onto that neutral position. Our goal is to get through 10 breaths, so that's the 100 beats. But maybe you stop at 50 or 70, whatever you want to do here. If you want to make it a little more challenging, bring those legs out to whatever angle you can still maintain that neutral. But feel free to go back to one of those other positions if you need to. Listen to your own body here. You could also put your head down if you need to take a break and come back up. Last breath. Get all that air out and pull the legs in. Oh, and even though that's at the beginning of the Pilates repertoire, it's not easy, so good for you for making it through there. So with control, you're gonna roll yourself up to sitting and sit tall. All right, I'm gonna use this sponge I use in the studio, this rolled up towel, which is what you probably have at home, underneath my low back. And I'm gonna sit really tall on the tops of my sit bones and hold on to the backs of my legs. Half roll back. So I'm gonna tuck the tail, scoop my tailbone under as I exhale. I'm gonna try to find the back of that sponge with my lowest part of my spine, just until my arms are long, and then I'm gonna curl forward and then unwind, sit tall. Exhale, do that again. Your breath leads the movement. And roll up. So here you're trying to get a nice long C curve. You never want to feel like it's compressive at all. You just want to find that length. And you should feel your abdominals, that scoop of the abdominals, as you're going. So you could stay there. We'll do 3 more with your arms extended, but again, you could stay with that first version, holding onto the backs of your thighs, if that's where you are today. And one more. And come up top. So you could stay there, or you could move on to the roll-ups. So I'm just gonna do 3 roll-ups. I'm gonna leave that sponge there. For me, it gives me good feedback for my spine. I may turn it a little bit. So I'm gonna roll down. Big exhale, my legs are heavy. My arms come over my head. Inhale, the head and chest come up. Exhale, curl as best you can without moving those legs up and over. And rolling back. And exhale. Curl, pull those ribs back away from those feet. One more time. Exhale, like you're placing one vertebra at a time down on the mat. Inhale, head, exhale. One vertebra as best you can at a time, curls forward. Very nice job. All right, I'm gonna take that rolled up towel out and roll all the way down on my back. Lengthen out your left leg and grab onto your right thigh. Find that nice neutral again, and just bend and stretch that right leg. Little hamstring stretch before we do single leg circle. And bring your leg up to the sky. I'm gonna bring my arms down, palms up, because it opens my chest. Feel the breadth of your chest, the width of your hips, everything nice and heavy. Turn your leg out slightly. Cross it over the center line of your body and circle it out and around back in. Inhale, exhale, bring it around. We're gonna do 4 more, and I'm just gonna give you another thing to think about, which is keeping those back ribs heavy and your torso still. One more. Good. Reverse that circle. So hopefully you're feeling your inner thigh and your abdominals working to keep things still. Two more. And one more. Good. Bring that knee in, give it a hug. Switch sides. Now I'm going to really anchor that down leg. So I'm going to press that heel and really lengthen out that leg as best I can. And then just stretch the other side. So this little hamstring stretch gives you a chance for you to check in and make sure things are equally weighted and heavy on the mat. Hold that leg up. Arms comes down by our sides. Circle the leg around. Now, if your hamstrings are really tight, you could soften that knee a little bit, like so. It's more about that thigh bone moving in the socket. Do the best you can. And reverse it. And you may find, like this side is a little more of a struggle for me. And that's okay. One more time. And bring that leg in. And bring the other leg in. And bring yourself with a big rock up to sitting. And bring yourself, just make sure you're on the first third of your mat, because we're going to do rolling like a ball. So rolling like a ball, my feet are going to come in. I'm going to bring my hands on my ankles. Now it's a rolling exercise, so if you're not sure your back or your spine is going to like doing that, just work on the balance piece here. So I'm going to pull my belly in, pull my abs away from my thighs, and hover. And just try to hold that shape. Now maybe add a little teeny rock, like just an inch back and forth. And you'll start to feel that point of control that you have to fight against. So you can stay right here, or we're gonna take it to the full roll. So you're gonna inhale, roll back to the tips of your blades. That's as far as you go. Exhale, roll up. Now I'm looking down into my stomach. My elbows are wide. I'm kind of pushing shins into hands, hands into shins to help me really fire up the center of my body. One more. And come up, balance, and let those legs come down. I'm just gonna shift my hips back a tiny bit. We're gonna move on to the ab series of 5. Now that's a series of abdominal exercises with the head lifted. But feel free, if you need to keep your head down, you can. You can even use that roll of towel you used earlier. I'm gonna do kind of the traditional, but feel free to take a break and come back if you need to, all right? So with control, I'm gonna roll myself down, maybe use my hands to help me find that nice neutral spine. I'm gonna stay curved up. My legs are gonna come into my chest. I'm nice and long. I'm trying not to pick up my bum, trying to keep my tush heavy. I'm gonna do my hands behind my head for today, all right, for single leg stretch. So I'm gonna exhale, curve up even more, sink the weight of my head into my hands. I'm almost pressing back into my hands. Now lengthen out that left leg, pause, really reach it long, pull that right knee in from your abdominals, and then change, and change, and change, and change. Now your angle might look different than mine, might be higher up, might be a little smaller. Do the best you can. And I'm inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. I'm gonna do one more. And exhale, exhale, and bring those knees in. Take a little rest. That was single leg stretch. Double leg stretch. I'm gonna exhale, curve myself up. This time my hands are gonna go on my ankles. I'm gonna keep myself in this curved up shape. The arms and legs reach away. Then you exhale, circle and hug and lift up even more. Now notice I'm trying not to pick up my bum. I'm trying not to lay my head down. I'm trying to stay really curved up. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, exhale, Inhale and exhale and rest. Woo, feeling warm already. That's 2 down. Scissors is next. You bring your legs to the sky. I'm gonna climb up that right leg. Lower the left leg. Really reach it with the back of your body. Pull that knee in. Change. Pull, change. Pull, change. And even though my hands are guiding my leg, it's really my torso that's pulling that leg towards me. And only go as big with those scissors as your back stays in that nice neutral. Inhale, exhale, change. And bring those knees in. Whew. All right, lower and lift. Legs are gonna come up to the sky. For today, I'm gonna turn out, soften my knees so that my hips soften. So I have kind of a diamond shape with my legs, all right? Now that shape is gonna be what I'm gonna stay with. If you like those legs straight, that's fine, but feel free to pick the shape that works for your body. My hands are gonna come behind my head. I'm gonna exhale and curve up. Now for me, if I really press my head back into my hands, it really helps me get that ab connection. So from here, I'm just gonna lower a couple inches, not far. Exhale, pull it back in. Inhale, lower. Exhale, so you're trying to pull it in from the lowest part of your body. Pick the range of motion that works for your body. One more. And rest it down. Whew. One more of the ab series of 5, crisscross. I'm gonna curve myself up. My elbows are wide. I'm gonna rotate to the right. Send my left leg long. So I'm trying to reach my rib to my opposite hip. And then I'm gonna change. Exhale, change. Try to stay curved up, but also long. So you're trying to get that rotation through your body. Now, if you need a little different layer, keep one foot down. All right. Good, we're almost through the ab series of 5. Very nice. Bring those legs in, give them a hug. You did it. Nicely done. Bring arms and legs out, give them a nice big hug. Woo! And bring yourself up to seated. And we'll push ourselves back on the mat. Now here, if you want to, you could sit back up on this rolled up towel. For some people with the sitting series, if you have a little towel or a block or something fairly firm you can sit on, you can certainly do that. All right, so from here, we're gonna do spine stretch forward. So I'm gonna reach my legs out in line with my mat, roughly. I'm gonna sit up really tall. The arms float in front. Take an inhale to get even taller. So use your seat. Give a little lift through your seat. Exhale as you round forward. Inhale as you come back up. Use that exhale to pull the abdominals back so that maybe each time you can go a little further. One more here. And come on back up. Another option for the sitting series is to sit cross-legged. So if you're really, really tight, that may be another option. All right, we're gonna go into spine stretch side. So I'm gonna take my left hand up by my ear. I'm gonna reach up and over, side bending, and then back up tall. Stay on that same side. We're gonna side bend. Now, as I go over, I'm thinking of going up and over so that I'm getting that length. I'm not losing any of that nice length. And then this opposite hip is staying nice and anchored. Let's change sides. Other side. Big up and over. Exhale, up and over. Nicely done. Up and over. And one more time. Up and over. And back down. Very nice. All right, from there, we're gonna do saw. So you're gonna sit up really tall. I'm gonna start with my hands on my elbows. I'm gonna rotate from my ribs, that's my steering wheel. Separate those fingers. Now saw off that pinky toe for 3 and 2 and 1. Back up top. Inhale, twist. Exhale, reach. 2 and 3. Back up. Inhale, exhale, reach. 2 and 3. Back up and spin and reach. 2, 3. Back up and reach. 2, 3. One more to the other side. And reach. And back. Good. Bring your hands by your hips. Move yourself forward to the front third again. Open leg rocker, which is a tough one for me, so I'm going to show a little modified open leg rocker today. So you're going to sit tall to start. Then just draw the low belly in, so you just rock right behind those sit bones. Keep long through your spine and hover both legs. Now this, again, it's a rolling exercise, so if you want to just stay here and balance, that's fine. You're going to exhale, maybe stretch one leg a little. You can see my tight hamstrings here, but that's okay. Practice, not perfection, right? Good. Now I'm going to stay in this little tabletop position, but I'm going to take it to a roll. So I'm going to tuck the tail. Inhale, roll just to the tips of my blades. Exhale. Come back to seated. Good. Do that again. See if you can use that breath, that exhale, right into your back ribs as kind of to help you control that roll. Because you want to really control it. And one more time. Hold, see if you can just hold. Maybe bring those legs together. Maybe reach for your toes. Kind of a modified teaser position. And bring those legs down, give yourself a little groin stretch, a little adductor stretch. All right, we're gonna come onto our stomachs. Some people like to use this folded up towel right underneath their low bellies. If their back doesn't love to be on your stomach, you're welcome to do that. We are gonna just run through a couple exercises here. So I'm gonna let my hips just melt into the mat. My hands are my head is resting on my hands. My legs are wide. From here, I'm going to take a nice deep breath. Let everything melt into the mat. On the next inhale, I'm going to lengthen through my spine so much that I float up a little bit and lower back down. Inhale as you lift. Exhale, grow longer through the top of your head as you go down. Keeping that neck nice and long. So this is baby swan. And back down. Keep your, whatever your bottom hand is, where it is, grab your opposite hand around your ankle, which for me is my left. Give it a little stretch. And then the other side, little quad stretch. Good. Now you can keep your hands here in this baby swan position for single leg kick, or you can come up into this lifted position here. And you could play with where your elbows are. If your back needs a little more space, you bring your elbows a little further away. I'm gonna let my chest get broad, reach my heart forward, my shoulders are down my back. I'm gonna take one leg, go kick, kick, and lengthen, and kick, kick, and lengthen. Now if you get crampy feet, feel to do whatever foot choreography works for you. You're kind of finding your hamstrings, but you're also working on that nice lift through the front and the back of your body. Imagine you're going to kick the back of your skull. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. One more time each side, and then we'll do double leg kick. Turn your cheek to face the camera. Bring your hands behind your back. Let your elbows just flop. I'm going to squeeze my legs together. Reach my toes so long that my thigh bones kind of hover off the mat. On your inhale, kick, kick, kick. On your exhale, reach, grab. I'm grabbing 3 fingers. I'm going to reach long, get a nice lift to my chest. Turn your head the other way. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, kick, kick, kick. Exhale, reach. Keeping those hips pressing into the mat. So you don't want to let those hips pike up on that kick. And stretch. One more. And stretch, hold. I'm going to lengthen my head even more. Reach your fingertips even more towards your toes. Maybe you can get a little higher through your body, only if it feels good. And lower yourself back down. I'm going to bring my arms wide for more traditional swan. Roll my shoulders back. My legs are going to go back wide again. I'm going to paw the mat to help bring me up into my swan and lower back down. Paw the mat like you're dragging yourself forward. That just helps wake up all the upper back muscles. Inhale as you come up and lower. And maybe your arms don't straighten out. Listen to your own body. And lower down. Good. Hands come in. Sit back on your heels. Give yourself a stretch. You're doing a really nice job so far. All right. We're going to come back up into that all fours position that we visited briefly and just work a little bit on our plank. So I'm going to bring my hands here underneath my shoulders. Think of that drawing in we did at the very beginning. And I'm going to step out into a plank. Now, if you want, you can be on your forearms here. Or you could go back and do that bird dog, the opposite arm and leg reach that we did at the very beginning. So I'm going to set my right leg back nice and strong. I'm going to join it with my left leg. And I'm just going to hold that plank. Breathe. One more breath. You can let the legs come down if you need a little rest. We're going to add a layer. So you're going to step back strong into that plank. Hold. You could just hold and breathe here too instead of adding layers. From my stomach, I'm going to try zipping up those inner thighs right through my belly button and reach it forward. So I'm kind of rocking forward and back, but I'm trying to make that come from my stomach versus pulling a lot with my arms or pushing with my toes. One more here. And lower down. You can spin out your wrists if you need to. One more version if you want to add for leg pull front. You're going to come back up into that nice plank. You're basically going to lift that right leg. You're going to go lift, lift, rock forward, rock back. Put it down. Left goes lift, lift, forward, back, right, shift. Try to keep those hips really still. Squeeze those legs together. Good. And lower down. Very nice. Now you could also there, through that plank series, work on a kneeling plank. And same thing, you could be forearms or you could be extended arms. So all those are fine layers to work on. All right, side leg series. I'm going to come out really long here on my arm. If you want a little more challenge, you can prop up here and bring that top arm behind your head. That's a little harder. Or you can use the kickstand, or you can be all the way down. I'll leave it up to you guys. So I'm going to really get my body long. Flex my feet. I'm going to pretend I'm standing on the ground, standing up. Reach that top leg long. Bring it up to hip height. We're going to start with our kick. So we're going to go kick, kick, and back. Kick, kick, and back. So here, it's all so much, imagine yourself standing up and trying to keep all this still. So you don't want to let a lot of trunk movement happen. Keep thinking of length. One more there. Stay at hip height. You're going to lift up and down. 2, and I like to flex my foot here, pull my pinky toe back towards my hip, and just give a little lift to that bottom waistline. That will keep nice length through your waist, nice stacked hips. Hold it here, little circles. I'm going to point my foot, but again, you could stay flexed. I'll let you choose the foot choreography again, whatever works. Reverse it. A little more challenge is to bring that top arm to the sky. You can see me wiggling a little. So do whatever you need there to stay still. Good. And we're going to lower it down. Bananas, you're going to squeeze those legs together. I'm going to flex my feet and then lift them up and lower them down. Squeeze them together, lift and lower. So that starts to get a little bit in the top obliques. Doesn't have to go high. And one more. And back down. Very nice. Roll on the other side. Now I should note that some people, that hip bone on the side, it can be uncomfortable. So you can either use that towel to pat it, or you could bring that bottom knee up a little bit just so you're off of that bone. So that may be something that you're discovering about your body, but anyway, those are things to do. So lift that bottom waistline. Make sure that top hip is away from your armpit, and we're gonna do those kicks again. So you're gonna go kick and back and kick and back. You're trying to keep that leg in the same plane, and I can see that through that camera lens that it's a little harder for me on this side. A little wobblier too. Good. Good, hold it long. Really reach, lift that bottom waistline even more. Really reach through that heel and lift it and lower it. Good job, don't forget to breathe. All of this is engaged. The belly is zipped in, the ribs are in. Good. Hold it here, point your toes and circle. Good, and reverse. Very nice. Bananas on this side. Zip those legs together, squeeze them together, lift and lower, and lift and lower. Good job. We'll just do 3 more here, and 2 more, and 1 more. Good. I know you're feeling those hips. We're going to stretch them in a second, but first let's come onto our back and do a little bridge. Take your rolled up towel and put it between, maybe roll it into a ball, like a log. So like a log. And bring it between your legs. And then you're going to lift it up and lower it down. Now as we're bridging, for today's purposes, I want you to keep sinking the chest so that the weight doesn't go onto your neck. You want it to be on your shoulder blades. Some people I've found with bridging are more comfortable with their arms to the sky. So just something to try. If that helps you sink your chest, then I'd say go for it. Good. Keep going. And here you're just watching for those ribs not to pop. Belly is staying pulled in. And you're trying to find the back side of your body. So you're pushing down through your feet, through your fingertips if your arms are down. Now stay at the top and just go down an inch and up an inch. Really see if you can find that part of the range that's hard. Breathe so you keep that nice connection between the low rib and the hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And roll down through your spine. Give it a hug. All right, now I promised you a stretch, so you can give yourself a little figure 4 on each side. And then the other side. We're almost there. You guys are doing great. Almost there. Really nicely done. All right, I haven't even offered you guys a sip of water, so feel free, now might be a good time just to take a little sip of water. We're almost there. We're gonna end with seal and then push-ups. So seal was a way of, it's another rolling exercise. It's a way of transitioning to standing. But mostly I like doing seal because you want to work on practicing getting off the floor to standing without using your hands. So I'm going to show you traditional seal, but you could also just come up to standing, however works for you, okay? So you're gonna take your arms, bring them inside your legs and around your ankles, pick your feet up, and your feet are facing one another, but not too wide. So keep them narrow, kind of push your legs into your arms into your legs. You're gonna clap your feet 3 times. Clap, clap, clap. Inhale, roll back. Clap, clap, clap. Exhale, roll up. Ooh, wobbly. Do that again. On our next one, we're gonna roll back, unwind your legs. Clap, clap, clap. Unwind, cross your feet, come up to standing. And I know now you can't see my head and chest. So we're gonna go on to push-up. Now, if you're new to push-ups, I have this bench here. You can do it here on the edge of a bench or on a couch or a kitchen counter. All right, so I'm gonna have you guys do your push-ups here today. And you're basically just gonna bend your elbows and press up. So this is lower, obviously, than a kitchen counter, but if you have something like that, you could start there, or you could start with a wall push-up. Now I'm just gonna give myself a little up stretch through my arms in between sets, and I'm gonna come back down and do the same thing. So I'm just bending and stretching. My elbows are staying right by my side, so it's more of a Pilates push-up. Send those hips back up into an upstretch kind of position. Give yourself a big stretch. One more time. And certainly if you are strong, you could certainly do these push-ups on the ground. But again, be throwing out options here. Send those hips back. Get a nice stretch. I'm gonna walk my feet in a little bit so that I can roll up through my spine. Very nice. All right, I'm just gonna come back to the floor. So thank you for coming. If you have any questions about this workout, please, you can direct message me. I'm happy to answer any questions, or if there's anything more you'd like to see us do, I'm happy to do that too. Please listen to your own body here and do what's comfortable for you, but I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.